President Clinton, and it may not have been marked on your calendar, but last year was in fact a year of the slasher. This young, hot Californian named Victor Sheldon spent the season fighting his way to the top of the 785 Pro Runabout class on the Bud Jet Sports Tour, finally taking the crown on the final moto of the season. Today, Victor begins his title defense against the best jet sports racers in the world. We've got a brand new season ready to ignite here on ESPN. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tybee Island, Georgia, just outside of Savannah for stop number 1 of the 1996 IJSBA Budweiser Jet Sports Tour, the West Coast Performance Nationals, co-sponsored by Ford Trucks. Hello again, Todd Harris, along with former world and national champion Larry Ripperkroger. Larry, the big news today is the defending 785 champion Victor Sheldon did not qualify for the main event.
Well, that is big news, but I think that attests to how competitive that class has become.
Now, what effect will this have on his title defense?
Well, it'll make it extremely difficult. 0 points for the first race could be an insurmountable disadvantage for Victor.
A breakdown during qualifying was the start of a very bad day. Then he was nipped at the finish line for the final transfer spot by Nicholas Rios in the last chance qualifier. He is out for today. Meanwhile, there are plenty of contenders on the line here at Savannah. Let's have a look at the course the IJSBA has given us.
Should be an exciting race this weekend. The course layout, we've got a left-hand first turn, and from there they have the split. You have the option of going either to the left or to the right, inside, outside of the split. Then the riders will merge back together going down the front straightaway. This is where a lot of passing will take place.
Today we are using the moto system. We combine the two motos. That gives us the day's overall winner, and that's what these racers are gunning for. A lot of money has been poured into this class. The 785 runabouts on the line, and they are off, Larry, with a clean start.
And the waves are churning. The key here is they're trying to keep the ski down in the water, keep that pump hooked up.
Canamori on the inside bobbles a bit, and there goes Bill Pointer, his teammate on the Kawasaki, gets the whole shot on the first race of the year, and Bill Pointer just coming over the Kawasaki team, not showing any respect to his fellow teammate, but that's how they like it over there. You just fight for it, get what you can, and Tom Bonacci slides into second place position.
Tom Bonacci also on a new ride this year, riding for the West Coast team, switching over to Sea-Doo.
So on the first lap of the first moto of the first race of 1996, it's Bill Pointer on the Kawasaki, Team Kawasaki, followed by Tom Bonacci on the West Coast Performance Sea-Doo. In third, it's Chris Fischetti. And for Bill Pointer, Larry, coming off last year, huge momentum, and he just takes it right into the 96 season.
That's right. Bill only 22 years old, and like you said, showing no respect for his world champion teammate, battling in the first turn there, but now out in front looking very good.
Going back to the start, and it looked like Canamori was going to get the whole shot, but he had some problems.
Canamori on the right of the screen had a bit of a lead, but look what happens. He hits his wave, goes sideways, almost gets pitched off, and Pointer on the inside set up perfectly for that first turn, takes advantage.
There you see the vitals on Bill Pointer Jr., 22 years old, out of Laguna Niguel, California. Last year in the runabout class, he was 6th place, so he is definitely looking to improve upon that. And aboard this Kawasaki, he looks very fast today.
And the conditions this weekend, you can hear the wind. The water is getting choppier as the day goes on, and Pointer looking very smooth on that Kawasaki out there. The Kawasaki's not really known for being superior in the rough water. The Sea-Doos and the Yamahas tend to perform a little bit better in their chop, but boy, Pointer out in front looks great.
Speaking of the Sea-Doos, right behind Pointer, it's Tom Bonacci. He's had some seat time on this craft coming out of Brea, California, and he looks very good. A lot of people look for Tom Bonacci to make a lot of noise this year. Could be a contender for the national title, especially with Victor Sheldon not qualifying. There's a bobble from Bonacci, but he stays right on track. He is trying to track down Bill Pointer, but behind him, it's Chris Fischetti, quite possibly the most resilient rider out here today. As we go to our current standings, it's Bill Pointer, Tom Bonacci, Chris Fischetti, Chris McCluggage in the 4th place position, and Derek Punchard. When we come back to Tybee Island, just outside of Savannah, Georgia, we'll have more of the Bud Jet Sports Tour here on ESPN. The West Coast Performance Nationals are brought to you by Budweiser. Budweiser, king of beer. And everyone. Welcome back to Tybee Island, Georgia, just outside of the beautiful city of Savannah for the first stop of the IJSBA Budweiser Jet Sports Tour, the West Coast Performance Nationals, co-sponsored by Ford Trucks. Todd Harris along with Larry Rippenkroger. This is Moto number 1. Our current leader, Bill Pointer, aboard the Kawasaki, Team Kawasaki, out of Laguna Niguel, California, and he is being followed by Tom Bonacci in second, and Chris McCluggage has moved up to third place. So right now, Larry, Bill Pointer is the man of the hour.
Yes, he is. He's looking very smooth, but a lot of pressure from Bonacci in second place. He's been all over Pointer throughout this moto.
Pointer, Bonacci, McCluggage, Fischetti, and Dustin Farthing has moved into fifth. Now, here's a young man who a lot of people say is another contender for the title this year.
Well, you know, it's early in the season, first race of the year, but I have to tell you, I see a lot of potential in this kid. He very well could be a major contender for the overall title.
Chris McCluggage continues to dog Tom Bonacci. These guys are great friends off the course, but once they get on the water, it is no holds barred. He is starting to close the gap between second and third. Tom Bonacci slowing down there as they come into left-hand side, and that is not the thing to do with Chris McCluggage behind you.
McCluggage, one of the fiercest competitors out there on the race course. Second place is not an option for him. And the Yamahas, they are known for how well they handle in the rough water. Look for McCluggage to continue his move up through the pack.
As we move into the lap, here comes McCluggage behind Bonacci. He holds him off again, but he keeps getting closer and closer, and he has now closed the gap to about 1 boat length. He is all over the back of Bonacci. Bonacci, as you mentioned about McCluggage, a very fierce competitor, but Chris McCluggage almost loves to be behind for just a few laps, I think, to drive the guy in front of him a little bit crazy.
He loves that challenge.
Chris McCluggage in the third place position, boat number 4, the ProTech Yamaha, and Chris McCluggage would love to get a national title in this class. He's got one in the ski division, he's got one in the sport division, he's now looking for the runabout class.
And another interesting note, McCluggage's arch rival from the ski class, Nicholas Rios, has also made the transition to the 785 class. Look for this class to really heat up as this season progresses.
Meanwhile, Tom Bonacci's got all kinds of problems. The boat is almost dead in the water, and there goes Chris McCluggage and a host of other riders right on past him.
Looks like Bonacci may have bumped his stop button or something, momentarily killing the engine. He's back in the race, but boy, did McCluggage take advantage of that move.
Chris McCluggage staying on the back of Bonacci. Right place, right time. Bonacci up and riding again, but he has lost a few positions. And Chris McCluggage out of Naples, Florida, aboard the ProTech Yamaha, has now taken over second place, and I can bet he is now trying to hunt down Bill Pointer.
And look at that, the yellow Reba ski. Dustin Farthing has now moved into third place. That kid is on the gas.
Dustin Farthing, a youngster, the 17-year-old out of Hobe Sound, Florida. He weighs all of 95 pounds, completely wet, so not a whole lot of drag on his boat. And that Reba Yamaha team with Tim Judge Tooney is going to be very fast this year. But the race in the backstretch, Chris McCluggage trying to track down Bill Pointer.
McCluggage on the charge, and Pointer looking like he's just pacing himself at this point.
Bill Pointer, the new member of Team Kawasaki, and he could be looking for some checkered flags.
Open to, I mean, I'm feeling very confident. My new ride, everybody is behind me at Kawasaki. I mean, I can't be happier. I feel really good coming to this race. I'm really fit, and everything's looking good for today.
The excitement, the prestige of riding for a factory team, but along with that, the pressure to perform. And Pointer now just trying not to make any mistakes out there, trying to keep the pace up. But McCluggage, he's in the driver's seat. He is in second place right now. He has nothing to lose, and you can see the way he is going into the turns. Very aggressive, carving closer to the buoys than Pointer.
Chris McCluggage, when he is in second place, takes on the social skills of a Wolverine. He does not like to be in second place, but he gets some kind of gratification from tracking someone down. I think that's what he's doing with Bill Pointer right now, kind of a cat and mouse thing.
That's right. The thrill of the hunt. The cat and the mouse is right. Going down the back straightaway, every turn, watch it, every single turn. You watch McCluggage, he shaves off just a couple of feet inside of the line that Pointer is taking.
Chris McCluggage bringing it wide open into this corner, getting a little bobble there, and he just dives right underneath Pointer. They bump holes, and it looks like Mr. McCluggage just got himself a first-place position.
Very aggressive move. Pointer going a little bit wide. McCluggage set him up. He was on the outside. He cut across his wake, had him on the inside, had the line going into the next buoy.
So Chris McCluggage picks an opportune time to take over first place. The white flag is out, the final lap. We'll see what he can do with it. Now he's getting pressure from the yellow boat. Larry's favorite, Dustin Farthing, has now moved in, and he is starting to pressure McCluggage.
And did you see that? McCluggage and Farthing bumped there. Farthing got on the inside of McCluggage, and they were side by side there momentarily.
Well, this is the position Chris McCluggage loves to hold on to, and that's usually what he does, holds on to it. Rarely will you see him give up the first place position on the white flag, but here's where all the problems started for Bill Pointer.
We've got a left rider. Looked like Pointer got into his wake a little bit, spun sideways, lost a little bit of time. McCluggage cut underneath him, they banged, and McCluggage has just enough to nose him out going into that turn, sending Pointer out even wider.
Perfectly legal move. Bill Pointer just loses his line.
That's right. Lap traffic's always a major factor, especially late in the race. Fatigue is beginning to set in. You've got a lot of wake from the other riders. Anything can happen.
Bill Pointer not only loses his first place position, but he also loses second to Dustin Farthing as Chris McCluggage brings it around the last turn, and he takes home moto number 1, the first race of the year, and what a way to start it for Chris McCluggage out of Naples, Florida, and the rest of the Protec Yamaha team as he shakes hands with Dustin Farthing. We'll be back to talk to Mr. McCluggage right after this. Welcome back to ESPN's coverage of stop number 1 of the 1996 Bud Jet Sports Tour. Todd Harris along with Larry Rippercoder from Tybee Island, Savannah, Georgia, where moments ago it was Chris McCluggage taking moto number 1, a big victory for him on his way to hopefully a national title in the pro runabout class. The results go like this: McCluggage, Farthing, Pointer, Rios, and Fischetti. Let's go down to Larry Rippercoder, who is standing by with our moto number 1 winner. Larry.
Thanks, Todd. Well, I talked to you earlier. You had a few butterflies in your stomach before the race. How does it feel now?
Well, Larry, it just feels great. You know, I went out there and had fun. That's about it.
Well, I was talking to Scott Watkins during the race. He said they've been working a lot with the hull design. You've got a new carbon fiber hull, and obviously it's working very well.
Yeah, the hulls are working great. Scott Watkins, John Stevens, Rick Potts, he's the one who actually lays up the hull. And it's carbon fiber. At the World Finals, it was the same hull, but at the World Finals is made out of a material similar to fiberglass. But now, you know, the Yamaha supplies us with the hulls, and then Protec supplies us with the power for them. And, you know, I'd like to thank Matt and Dave. They've been putting in endless hours at night. I mean, 12 o'clock at night. They get there at 6 in the morning, 14-hour days. They just work endlessly. And if it wasn't for those guys, I mean, my boat would be really slow.
Well, I know you like rough water. Maybe the wind will kick up a little more. You might have some bigger waves in the second moto, but obviously you're off to a great start. Congratulations on a first moto win, Chris.
Thank you very much, Larry.
Congratulations to Chris McCluggage winning moto number 1. And while the head mechanics wrench away, let's go back and have a look at our freestyle competition. The operative word in freestyle is air, big air, and the champion of all freestyle aerialists is Rick Roy, last year's national title holder, who was up to his old tricks again this year, and a few new ones as well. Unfortunately for Roy, during one of his aerial nose stabs, he fell off his ski. Retrieving it cost him valuable time in his 2-minute routine, and he finished in 5th place.
Capturing the 4th place spot was Eric Malone, a newcomer from Duncansville, Pennsylvania. Malone showed an impressive array of tricks, including his own version of a huge barrel roll in the waves. A great way to start the year, a 47.1 score and a 4th place finish.
Athens, Georgia's Ken Wood made his mark by performing a fantastic routine, also logging airtime and finishing with a 3rd place result, his best finish ever on the national tour.
It was a dream come true. It's taken me all year. Last year, first year pro, rookie. This is my best finish ever. I think last year I got a 4th, and today the first round a 3rd, and I'm real pleased.
An understatement to be sure. Wood's 47.2 score and the resulting 3rd place would be a great way to start the 96 season.
Former national freestyle champion Lloyd Burlew got his 96 season started with lots of air and boatloads of the patented Burlew style, which he puts to good use in either flat or wave conditions.
We like the waves, of course, but we like the flat spots in between, too. Unfortunately, it was a little bit shallow today. It made it hard to do subs, but we had the little waves. Thanks for that. And, yeah, waves and flat.
Burlew utilized both to finish with a 47.3 score in 2nd place. Lloyd's still at the top of his game and able to mix it up with the younger, more recent arrivals on tour.
But the big prize for the day went to Germany's Mark Sickerling, last year's World Freestyle Champion, now starting his 2nd year of competing on the U.S. National Tour. Mark took the overall win today, just as he had done in the first event of last year's tour competition, which was held in Richland, Washington.
it was great for me to win over there, but the conditions was perfect for me. And then I had a lot of problems with my boat, and I went the first time in my life into the big waves and all these problems. But this year I going around with two other guys. We call us Piranha Brothers, and we train together, and I'm prepared for this year.
And that was obvious today as Mark's performance gave him the win with a 47.6 score. So his is the first freestyle victory of the 96 season, putting him in first overall, followed by Lloyd Berlew, Ken Wood, Eric Malone, and Rick Roy. Now it's on to Virginia Beach. Another hot piece of racing action took place in the women's Pro-Am ski division, where defending two-time national champion Tara Chrisman met up again with longtime rival, the former four-time national champion Christy Carlson. The difference this time was that Christy was now on a Yamaha Superjet.
Even more impressive about this was that Christy only had just a few short months prior to the start of the season to start adjusting to her new ride. And look at this. First moto action, Tara out in front, Christy Carlson battling side by side, goes around her, a clean pass around the outside of Tara. That's just incredible, but it's not over. The rough water conditions, the lap traffic, and these two went at it side by side, swapping the lead back and forth. An amazing battle and a hard-fought win for our eventual winner, Tara Chrisman.
In moto number 2, it was another classic battle between Christy and Tara. But this time, it would be Christy Carlson coming out on top in moto number 2 and getting the overall by virtue of the tiebreaker.
Bill Chapin, my mechanic of my entire career, has began working on my Superjet for me. It's built by R&D Racing, and it's as new to him as it is to me. And we only received our boats 3 months ago, so we learned a great deal in a short time.
Congratulations to Christy Carlson, our overall winner, followed by Tara Chrisman, Tracy Lathwood, Natalie Clark, and Diane Sanford. When we come back, the last race of the day, Pro Runabout 785 from Tybee Island, Georgia. Stay with us. Welcome back to Tybee Island, Georgia. Stop number 1 of the Bud Jet Sports Tour. This is moto number 2, 75 runabout class. They are on the line, ready to go. Clean start, and they are off.
And the waves are churning. They're getting bigger. This second moto of the day will be the tiebreaker in case of any ties. And out in front, once again, it looks like Pointer up toward the front there. Oh, but look at this. A lot of riders to the left of the first turn buoy. We've got a mess. A lot of guys having to circle back. And out in front, it is Minoru Kanamori, the world champion.
Minoru Kanamori avoids the chaos with all that whitewash going up in the air. A lot of riders just took a line to the left and they missed the first buoy. But Minoru Kanamori will take them into the green flag lap in the number 1 position. He is the defending world champion on board the Kawasaki, Team Kawasaki, out of Kobe, Japan, now living in Lake Havasu City, Arizona. And right behind him, it's Tom Bonacci on the Sea-Doo.
And we have an interesting scenario here. Bonacci having trouble in that first moto with carburation. They seem to have worked that out. But neither he nor Kanamori finished in the top 5. So this race is going to go to anybody. I mean, anybody in the top 10 can win this one.
Let's go back to the start once again, Larry. What happened here?
To me, it looks like a lot of waves hit the first turn buoy and a lot of white water, and several key riders missed that first turn buoy and had to circle back and pick it up. Notably, McCluggage, Rios, Pointer, all missing that first turn buoy. Here's another look at it. Look at all the white water spray they have to deal with. You can see the buoy and several riders to the left of it. They needed to be on the right-hand side of it.
You've been in that situation before. Is it a case of you just look for a vest and try to follow that vest?
Well, it's hard sometimes to spot the buoy. You've got so much spray from the riders. You've got goggles on, but sometimes you just flat out cannot see.
Well, right now, a man who's having no problem seeing is Minoru Kanamori, 30 years old. He comes to us from Kobe, Japan, but living in Lake Havasu. He is the 94-95 Pro Runabout World Champion, and this guy, when he gets smooth water, can just flat out fly.
And you can bet Kanamori wants to win this second moto. He had problems the first moto. This second one, you know he's hungry.
Here's the battle heating up. Chris Fischetti in 3rd, Dustin Farthing in 4th, and Dustin Farthing, Larry's dark horse in this one, really giving Fischetti a lot of hassles.
And the thing I notice about Farthing is he is relentless. Every single buoy he's shaving it a little closer, no matter who it is in front of him. I mean, you've got Fischetti right there in 3rd, in front of Farthing, but he is not intimidated the least bit. He is doing everything he can to get by him.
On the racetrack, Tom Bonacci misses the buoy, circles back in front of Fish, and Fish had to slow down, and that looks like Dustin Farthing has just enough to get past him. They both go to the split. We'll see where they come out.
Fischetti on the left of the split, Farthing on the right, and Farthing carrying a lot of speed into that split. He didn't have to slow down for Bonacci as he was circling back, and I think that may be the key. Yes, it is. Farthing goes by Fischetti.
So Dustin Farthing inherits second place. A lot of hard riding by the young Dustin Farthing out of Hobe Sound, Florida, on board the Riva Yamaha boat number 7. And this kid is a great rider. But this is what set it all up. Tom Bonacci misses a buoy, Larry, and that causes all kinds of problems.
It indeed looked like a chain reaction from that point. Bonacci starting to circle back, but Fischetti having to swerve to miss him. But Farthing was just far enough back. He did not have to swerve. He was able to maintain his momentum. Here's another look. You see Fischetti swerving, Farthing going around the outside on the yellow ski, cutting inside of Fischetti. Now got a little bit more drive. He's going to come up side by side with him and take it around the split.
Dustin Farthing, he is on the charge right now. His next subject to attack is Minoru Kanemaru, and once again, Farthing chooses the right side of the split. Is that going to work for him this time?
Well, if history repeats itself, it may indeed be. This is amazing, though, that he has reeled in Kanemaru. I mean, you're talking about the world champion out there, and you've got this young kid, what is he, 17 years old? In fact, he goes by. Unbelievable move by Farthing.
So Dustin Farthing works his magic at the right time. The white flag is out, last lap, and we'll see if he can hold off the world champion.
And the interesting thing here, thanks to that first turn disaster, riders that were big players in the first moto, McCluggage and Pointer, are well back in the pack. Because of that, Farthing only has to finish second place to take the overall win.
Dustin Farthing made the big pass right here when he got all that drive past Kanemaru, looking very sharp. Dustin Farthing gets a second place in moto number 1, and he's well on his way to getting the win here in moto number 2. But with drives like this, he is going to be a hard man to catch all tour long.
The way he rounded that last turn going into the front straightaway was amazing. He carried so much speed there. I don't think I've ever seen a turn like that.
Well, Dustin Farthing isn't large in stature, but he's got it where it counts, and he is bringing it home for the win here. Moto number 2, he looked very sharp, didn't let that first turn debacle distract him at all, and he takes the win and the overall here. Stop number 1, Tybee Island, Georgia. A great win for Dustin Farthing and his tuner, Tim Judge, aboard the Riva Yamaha boat number 7. So he draws first blood of the tour this year. We'll be back to talk to our winner right after this. The Budweiser Jet Sports Tour is brought to you by West Coast Performance Products, better by design. Welcome back to Tybee Island, Georgia, and ESPN's coverage of stop number 1 of the Budweiser Jet Sports Tour. Results for Moto 2 look like this: Farthing, Kanemaru, Fischetti, Bonacci, and Fitzgerald. Let's go down to Larry with our winner.
Thanks, Todd. Well, I love it when I'm right. Earlier, I predicted Dustin Farthing would be a definite threat in the second moto, and you were, in fact. In fact, you took the overall win today.
Yeah, I felt really good. McCluggage was won the first one, and I expected him to be a big contender, and I guess something happened to his boat, and, I was hoping to win, and that's what happened.
Well, talk about the team and the effort that's been put into this. This is the first race of the year. Obviously, Riva's been busy with a lot of changes over the course of the winter.
Riva's been working late nights. Tim Judge and my dad and, all the guys at Riva have been working late and, building some fast stuff, and it paid off.
Now, I've got to ask, is this like a Dennis Rodman thing? Does the hair change each weekend based on how you do, or what is this?
It's just something different. Like to change it, make everybody wonder. It was purple last week. Who knows what it'll be next week?
Well, it seems to be working. Congratulations, Dustin.
Thanks,
Back to you, Todd.
Thank you, Larry. Our standings after one event look like this: Dustin Farthing, Chris Fischetti, Minoru Kanemaru, Tom Bonacci, and Dan Fitzgerald. So for Larry Ripperkroger, I'm Todd Harris. We'll see you next time right here on ESPN.